And joining me for the weekly show once again, one of my very favorite guests, Whitney Reynolds, is here. And I have to tell you, we're on radio, but you look absolutely fantastic.
Well, thank you.
You are definitely looking TV good, girl.
I am mid-season, Robin. We are just rocking and rolling with the show, and so it is one of those things that I am always TV ready. Even though we're radio today, I still have to feel the good vibes.
I have to tell you, when I was getting ready for work this morning, normally I don't wear a whole lot of makeup to work, but I thought, well, Whitney's coming in. I got to step it up a little bit. I got to put something on.
Well, something about getting dressed up and showing up. I always feel just so much better. And you look great yourself.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
I think it's the spring in the air, a little pep in our step.
I'm so glad for that.
I know,
we could use a break from the rain, but that's okay. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're working up the showers to the flowers.
Right,
we're getting there. Yeah. Well, it is great to be back in studio. This week on Whitney's Women, we have an amazing guest because April is Volunteer Awareness Month, and I have Janae with Chicago Cares. Welcome, girl.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's nice to have you on. And who would have thought that April, we are getting thousands of people together to sign up for volunteering. Tell us all about it.
So April is Volunteer Month, and at Chicago Cares, which is the city's largest volunteer organization, we mobilize volunteers to build a stronger and more unified Chicago. And as part of Volunteer Month, we're launching a 30-day volunteer challenge. So you can find on our website a list of great things to do and all kinds of opportunities. On our website, chicagocares.org, you can sign up for a project. So you can go and volunteer at a senior center. Oftentimes our seniors are living in isolation, so we can go do breakfast and bingo. And I gotta tell you, bingo, uber competitive.
Yeah, I don't mess around. If you get me on a boat and bingo, I am like going to town. That is my jam.
It's a whole thing, and I mean, so much fun. But you can also go to a school and read with a child. We work at a number of different food pantries, domestic violence shelters. So there's all kinds of different organizations that you can volunteer at. But besides that, as part of this challenge, we're just saying, do something good. At line in Starbucks or wherever you happen to get your coffee in the morning, buy the person behind you a coffee. Give someone up your seat on the CTA. And what that does is it creates an opportunity for a connection and conversation. I think oftentimes we are so in our phones, earbuds on, just kind of not paying attention to the world around us, and we often become very disconnected. And what volunteering does is it creates a connection amongst people, right? So whatever the work that it is we're doing, whether we're building a community garden or rehabbing a school, you're doing it with other people. And sometimes those people are not from the same neighborhood you're from. They're, not maybe the same race or socioeconomic class. So how great is it to be around someone else and learn about them and connect with them in a way? Because I know that just through volunteering, I've found that we're so much more alike than we are different.
I like that, and I like the concept of it doesn't have to look this way, it doesn't have to look that way. We can actually volunteer by being just good people, share kindness. I like this whole concept. This is really great.
It's fantastic, and I think if more people did it, imagine what kind of a city we'd live in.
Oh, I can only imagine. So where on these opportunities, you go to the website, you sign up, because even though you're saying that we can do it in our own way, you actually have provided ways that people just can sign up.
Yes, and we make it so easy for you, and we kind of take the hard thinking part of like, well, what neighborhood am I going to go to, and what could I potentially do? We plan all of that for you. We're working with almost nearly 300 different community partners all across the city, and we work with them to devise volunteer opportunities, things that help them enrich their mission and that they just wouldn't have the capacity to do if Chicago Cares didn't come in and help out with that. So we're delighted to work with so many folks, and it's easy to find those opportunities on our website. You can search by zip code, kind of topic, area of interest. So it's super easy for people to just sign up for a profile and then get on for a program and get out there and start volunteering.
And for all our listeners that maybe know of a way to volunteer, can they submit one to you guys? If there's an opportunity that's maybe not on the calendar yet, that they're like, oh, we want to be on Chicago Cares calendar.
Yes, so definitely reach out. So we have different organizations that we always take in as looking at those opportunities as community partners. So we welcome new community partners, new opportunities. So chicagocares.org, easiest way to find us on the website, and we're happy to talk.
So how many people come out to volunteer?
Oh, I mean, The numbers annually are over 10,000 volunteers.
Isn't that
annually.
crazy, Robin?
Mhm.
10,000.
You have any
10,000.
idea how happy that makes
I
me?
know, it's
You
good,
know,
right?
Then you know what I love? I love that this is something that, I mean, you want to do it on your own, great. Even better, involve your family, because
Yes.
we talk about this, raising kids that are compassionate and kind.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Yep.
You show them.
You show
do
them.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that
have
is
to.
good.
Right.
And you know, we say too, word of mouth is our best advertiser, right? We're not this being on the media, being able to talk about it is so amazing. But for folks to just go out and do it and volunteer, and then they tell their friends and they tell their friends, that's really how we've grown over the years. That so many people do volunteer with us and know about us. 25 years that the organization has been around, and we've 500,000 people have come through our doors.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
These numbers are amazing.
Yeah.
And it makes my heart happy because so many times we see negative news, and to hear that there's people with big hearts in our city, it's encouraging. And if you don't hear about it, like, ask one of your neighbors to come, and,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
So get your circle involved, which is
And
good.
this is one of those things that you can do. So say you're looking at your calendar and you see, oh, July is going to be really busy. I have this weekend open though. So
Right.
this isn't something where you sign up and you're committed for an entire
No.
month, year. It's how you can do it, how it fits into your schedule. right?
Exactly. It's what works for you. So we've got a lot of opportunities that fall into the after work hours and weekends. And if you can come once and never come back, that's fine. We don't prefer it, but that's fine. We understand that life happens.
Right.
People move, work happens, people travel. But at the same time, just do something to start to see what are your interests. And this is a funny thing too, is oftentimes people are like, oh my gosh, I love children. I want to volunteer with children. And then they get there and realize I should not be working with kids.
I'm like, they can come
Yeah,
over
yeah,
to
your
Whitney's
house,
house,
I know,
right
right?
now. They can come work with my
Right?
twins.
But some people should just plant trees and garden some flowers, tend to those things. But, then there's me who I do not have a green thumb. I have a gray thumb. Anything that comes near me that lives will eventually die.
Oh, no.
So that's not the thing for me necessarily. Whereas, I do love working with kids. I do love volunteering with seniors. So those kinds of opportunities, it just depends. But there's a little bit of something for everyone.
And people just can go online, find these opportunities, and you have them throughout the year.
Yes, all throughout the year, 365. But what I will say is we have a very special event coming up in June, which, when we talk about volunteering and these numbers, and they're really wonderful, I want to create a movement here in Chicago. And I really want that movement to be around volunteering. I mean, we see the energy that happens in this city around a Blackhawks win or the Cubs win. And I mean, volunteering might not be as sexy and as exciting as some of those opportunities, but you can see how the city rallies around for when really good and amazing things happen. Well, why can't we all do a little bit more for our neighbors, right? And do that through volunteering. So we have an event in June 24th called Servathon. So instead of a marathon, it's a servathon.
Oh, I like it.
We can train for that.
We can,
Right?
we
Train
can
for that.
totally
Yeah.
train for that,
Totally
Robin.
train for that.
We
And
got
it's
it.
so much better. You don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and run a lot. But as part of Servathon, right, it's the city's largest day of service. We have an ambitious goal of recruiting over 5,000 people. And everybody descends on Daly Plaza in the morning. It's this really energizing day where you see so many other people, from individuals to corporations and churches and you name it, who have just come out to give back. Then we somehow managed to bus people out to 30 some sites all across the city. This year we're actually focusing more on the south and west sides of Chicago and concentrating kind of the schools and the places that we're working in down there. And then people go and volunteer all day, come back to Daly Plaza for a party with like a live cover band and beer and hot dogs.
I like it. I
Right?
like it.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds amazing. And what's the date on that again?
So the date is June 24th, and that's a Saturday. And registration is open. It's open on the website, so chicagocares.org. Just look for Servathon. Friends, families, you can build a team. You can make it competitive and get like a family against another family, or a group of friends against another group of friends. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that you can really get involved, but we provide a breakfast, lunch, and the after party, and sign up for individuals is only $10.
Oh my goodness. Well, everyone needs to sign up for that. They also need to go to the website because April is Volunteer Awareness Month. So get out there, volunteer. It was great having you on today.
Thank you. We encourage everybody to do more good. So,
I like
and
that.
when you're doing it, use the hashtag. We want to see the good news and the good work that people are doing out
So what's the hashtag?
Do more good. Hashtag do more good.
Do more good. I'm in. Yeah.
Fabulous. Awesome. Well, Whitney, thank you for for joining me. And again, we can look for you on TV. When,
Yes.
where?
Monday nights, 6:30 on Lake PBS. We are mid-season. In 2 weeks, we have Rape on College Campuses. It's a tough show, but it's a must-see for all you parents and kids out there. Well, college students, make sure to tune in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
For more information, check out WhitneyReynolds.com or get social with us. Twitter @Whitney Reynolds or on Facebook, The Whitney Reynolds Show.